Have you ever heard someone say, everything happens for a reason? Maybe you've even said it yourself. But what does it really mean? Is it true that everything happens for a reason? Or is it just something people say to make themselves feel better? Let's explore this idea together. First, let's talk about what it means for something to happen for a reason. When something happens for a reason, it means that there's a purpose or explanation behind it. It's like when you're playing a game and you make a move, but you don't realize why it's important until later. Maybe you've experienced something like this before. Maybe something bad happened to you, but later you realized that it was actually a good thing. For example, maybe you didn't get into your top choice college, but then you ended up loving the college you did attend. Or maybe you lost your job, but then you found an even better one. These kinds of experiences can make you wonder if everything really does happen for a reason. But what about when bad things happen? Does that mean that they're happening for a reason too? That's a tougher question. Sometimes bad things happen and it's hard to see any good reason for them. However, research has shown that people who believe that everything happens for a reason tend to be happier and more resilient. This is because when we believe that everything happens for a reason, we're more likely to look for the silver lining, even in tough situations. So, does everything happen for a reason? Maybe, maybe not. But what's important is how we respond to what happens. We can choose to believe that everything happens for a reason, and look for the good in every situation. Or we can choose to focus on the negative and get stuck in a bad place. The choice is ours. What do you think? Do you believe that everything happens for a reason? Let's talk about some examples. Have you ever experienced something that seemed bad at first, but turned out to be good in the end? Maybe you can think of a time when you were disappointed or frustrated, but later you realized that it was actually a blessing in disguise. That's what happened to me once. I was really looking forward to a concert, but then it got cancelled. I was so disappointed, but then I found out that the concert was rescheduled for a later date, and I ended up having an even better time at the rescheduled concert. It was like the universe was working in my favor, even when it seemed like things were going wrong. Maybe you've had an experience like that too. Share your story. Now, let's talk about the idea that everything happens for the best. Is it really true that everything happens for the best? Or is that just something people say to make themselves feel better? Let's explore this idea together. When we say that everything happens for the best, we're saying that even when bad things happen, they're ultimately leading us to a better place. It's like when you're on a journey and you take a wrong turn. You might feel frustrated or lost, but ultimately, you might discover a new and better route. That's what happened to me once. I was on a road trip and I took a wrong turn. I ended up getting lost in a beautiful countryside area. It was actually one of the highlights of my trip. I wouldn't have experienced that beautiful area if I hadn't taken that wrong turn. So, does everything happen for the best? Maybe, maybe not. But what's important is how we respond to what happens. We can choose to believe that everything happens for the best, and look for the good in every situation. Or we can choose to focus on the negative and get stuck in a bad place. The choice is ours. What do you think? Do you believe that everything happens for the best? Let's summarize what we've learned. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for the best. These are powerful ideas that can help us navigate life's challenges with more ease and positivity. By believing that everything happens for a reason and for the best, we can cultivate a more optimistic outlook and live happier, more resilient lives. So, the next time something happens and you're not sure why, remember that everything happens for a reason and for the best. Keep looking for the silver lining and trust that the universe is working in your favor.